Hello and welcome to the cryptocurrency news channel. We're going to talk about why today could honestly be the last time to really buy cheap for the alt season. Cheap as in relatively cheap, not as in like actually cheap, because if you really look at the prices compared to what they were a year ago, they are not cheap, but cheap relatively. This might be the last time that you may be able to buy Bitcoin below 60,000. And this has a lot to do with what I was talking about in the last video, the $3.2 billion options expiry. You can see that right now Bitcoin's hovering around 60,000, sometimes above 60 a little bit, sometimes below 60 a little bit, and it's a huge tug of war between bears and bulls. Now, with all the adoption news, and some of which I'm going to go over, like Wharton accepting tuition for one of its blockchain classes, funds getting into crypto, India looking to set crypto regulations and treat it as a commodity starting next February, I think it's going to definitely go up. The overall momentum is bullish, but there's massive pressure from the bears to keep it from going over 60,000 until tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow's the options expiry, and there's about a $350 million difference if Bitcoin lands under 60,000 or if Bitcoin lands above 60,000 at the time of the expiry. Now, it favors the bulls either way. If it lands between 58 and 60, the bulls are up by 315 million. But if it lands above 60,000, the bulls are up like 715 million. Sorry, it was like if it lands between 58 and 60, it's actually like 360 million. But if it lands above 60, it's bulls plus 710 million. So the bulls really want to get it past 60, but the bears, who are already losing because October's been extremely bullish, they're going to be losing a lot more. So they're probably using the derivatives markets and all those other markets to try and to keep Bitcoin down, despite the upward momentum and all the good news. The thing is, after the options expire tomorrow, there will be little incentive for them to actually try to hold it down. And I think holding it down, I think they realize will actually make them lose more money, because generally November and December have been very good for Bitcoin usually. And we're actually heading into the peak of the 4-year cycle. This has been exactly 4 years from 2017. I know it seems like it's been not so long, but it's actually been 4 whole years since 2017, and I think we're cresting again. Now, the 4-year cycle is kind of baked into the cryptocurrency cycle because Bitcoin halves once every 4 years. So it's kind of hard to break from it. And I think people are expecting it, which is why I think it's more likely to happen. So they're desperately trying to keep it suppressed so they don't lose more money. But they won't have a reason to desperately keep it more suppressed after tomorrow. Because after the big options expiry, there's not that much to lose, and I think the bulls can take over. Obviously, you might have a few more days for altcoins because the altcoins generally lag behind Bitcoin by a few days or a couple of weeks. But I do expect like mid next week, the altcoins to actually start going up, at least according to my analysis. Plan B also thinks Bitcoin will hit 63K by Monday. I think that's about right. I mean, 2 days after the expiry, gains about 5%. That's about right. I don't think that's quite enough time for it to truly start taking off. But I think the analysis for 95K at the end of November does actually make a lot of sense. And you can bet that if we're at 95K, everything will be a lot higher. And the thing is, if you don't buy right now for altcoins and Bitcoin starts going up, they'll inevitably keep following Bitcoin up, and you'll have to buy at much higher prices. Now, that's not really for like coins like Shiba Inu or Doge. They pump on like random Elon Musk stuff and Reddit pumps. They will be influenced by the greater market, of course, but they're influenced a lot by like Reddit sub channel pumps, and also they're influenced by what Elon Musk is like. Shiba Inu literally grew like earlier this year because Elon tweeted a picture of his dog or something, which is ridiculous, but it works. They will be influenced by the greater market, which means overall their trajectory will be up. But the coins that have real utility, the coins that actually have like solid projects building on them, they're definitely going to be the ones that are more in line with Bitcoin's rise. And I see the overall crypto market cap going to 5-6 trillion, maybe even more during this rise, because even though Bitcoin's going to rise, and Bitcoin might only double or so at the top, and that might only give us a market cap of like 4 trillion. I think altcoins will generally outgain Bitcoin, and I'm looking for Bitcoin's dominance to fall below 30% at the peak. There's going to be a major reduction of Bitcoin dominance in the coming days. I think Bitcoin dominance will actually grow maybe within the next week, But within the next 2, 3 weeks, it'll definitely start falling. And by the end of November, end of December, it's definitely going to be very, very low. So that's why like today might be the last chance you have to buy in for cheap Bitcoin. Altcoins, you probably have a couple more days, but Bitcoin right now and the rest of the market, I think getting in now is a good idea if you want to get it for a relatively cheap price. So that's the news for today. Let me know what you think. Like and subscribe and hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.